Have you ever felt like your own thoughts are kind of working against you? Like you're just stuck in this loop of negative thinking? Well, today, we're going to dive into an incredibly powerful tool that can help you break free. It's called cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT for short. We're going to break down exactly how it works, and more importantly, how you can use it to take back control of your inner world. But first, let me ask you this. Have you ever had a really tiny setback that somehow felt like a complete and total disaster? Maybe you made one small mistake at work, and your mind just immediately jumped to the absolute worst-case scenario. It's a surprisingly common thing, and today we're going to find out exactly why it happens. Okay, so let's meet Ian. He poured months of his life into this really critical report. After he finally submitted it, he noticed a single, teeny tiny error. Now, logically, it's not a big deal, right? But for Ian, oh man, it felt like the end of the world. His mind just started screaming, "I've ruined everything," and he was instantly thrown into a state of panic. So what is really going on with Ian here? Was it actually the error itself that caused all that distress? Or was it something else? To figure this out, we need to dig a little deeper and uncover the true source of our big emotional reactions. And here it is, the key insight from CBT, the real game changer. It wasn't the error that caused Ian's devastation. No, it was his thought about the error. It's the story we tell ourselves about what happens, not the event itself, that literally creates our emotional reality. This simple but incredibly powerful idea that our thoughts shape our feelings, well, that's the foundation of all of CBT. So let's pull back the curtain and see exactly how this whole process plays out in our minds. Okay, so it all starts with a situation. Ian spots the error. This immediately triggers an automatic thought. It's a complete disaster. And that thought, in turn, creates the feeling total devastation. You see, the thought is the crucial link. It's the bridge between what happens to us and how we feel about it. But here's the thing. Not all of our automatic thoughts are, true. In fact, a lot of them fall into these predictable, unhelpful patterns that psychologists call cognitive distortions, or as I like to call them, thought traps. Let's explore some of the most common ones we all fall into. First up, we have black and white thinking. This is the exact trap Ian fell into. It's seeing things in extremes. It's either perfect or it's a total failure. It's a success or a complete catastrophe. There's just no room for nuance, no gray area. Sound familiar at all? Take Sasha, for example. In her mind, she has a good list and a bad list for pretty much everyone she knows. One wrong move and bam, you're banished to the bad list forever. This kind of thinking doesn't just isolate her, it actually stops her from building any real, meaningful connections with people. Next up is a huge one, the tyranny of the shoulds. This is what happens when we're ruled by this set of really rigid, unspoken rules about how life should be. And when reality, doesn't live up to our personal rule book, we're left feeling angry, guilty, and disappointed. It's basically a recipe for being chronically unhappy. I mean, we've all been there. Jonathan worked his tail off to get into his dream university program. He believed he should get in, so when he didn't, his whole world just came crashing down. It wasn't just disappointment. It was a feeling of complete and utter failure, all because of that one little word, should. And our final thought trap for today is a total classic, mind reading. This is when we convince ourselves that we're psychic, that we know exactly what other people are thinking. And of course, we almost always assume they're thinking the worst about us. Spoiler alert, we're usually wrong. Just look at Nikki. Her colleague Linda was really quiet for a couple of weeks. Nikki's mind immediately went into overdrive. Linda must be absolutely furious with me. She spent days just stewing in this resentment, only to find out later that Linda's daughter was in the hospital. All that emotional turmoil, all that stress, was based on a complete story she made up in her own mind. So we've identified the thought traps that are holding us back. But here's the good news. Once you can actually see them, you can start to dismantle them. And there's a simple 3-step process that can help you do just that. It's super easy to remember. Catch, challenge, change. First, you learn to catch that negative thought right in the act. Then you challenge it. Is it really true? And finally, you change it to a more balanced and realistic perspective. Now, the real magic happens in step 2, the challenge. This is where you basically put on your detective hat and investigate your own thoughts. You have to ask yourself, is this thought 100% true? What's the actual evidence for it and against it? Is there another, maybe more helpful way of looking at this whole situation? Let's see this in action. On one side, you have that automatic negative thought, right? It's just full of mind reading and worst case scenarios. But look at the other side. After you've challenged it, you get a balanced, more realistic thoughts. It doesn't pretend everything is perfect, but it reframes the situation in a way that gives you back your power. Okay, so let's put it all together and see how this three-step process can help you literally rewrite your internal story in real time. So let's meet Sonia. She's dreading going to a party because she knows her ex is going to be there. Her automatic thought, as you can see in that middle column, is just this toxic cocktail of mind reading and catastrophizing. But then she catches it, she challenges it, and she creates a new, much more empowering perspective, which you can see over in that final column. And here's the beautiful part. By changing her thought, Sonia changed her feeling. That crippling anxiety was replaced by a sense of calm and self-assurance. The situation itself didn't change at all, but her experience of it was completely transformed. You know, this whole process is captured perfectly in the Serenity Prayer. It's really all about having the wisdom to know the difference between what we can control, which is our thoughts, our perspective, and what we can't, which is pretty much everything else. Here's the bottom line. Life is always going to throw curveballs at you. That's a given. But you don't have to just be a passenger along for the ride. You can actually learn to take the wheel and pilot your own mind no matter what storms come your way. So, I'll leave you with this question. What's one thought trap you can commit to challenging this week? It's a small step, for sure, but it's the first step on the path to a more peaceful and empowered mind. Thanks for joining me on this journey.